but they have ribbons on the top. Do you sew, but you can also make what they call jackets or sweaters with the loom. And this is one of the things that was handmade, and that's part of a school uniform. So that this is what they're making, and you can just pass that around and get up and hand it to the person behind you. And I think it's pretty warm over there, but they think it's cold sometimes in the rainy season, so they actually have a scarf. I think that's rather. Do you think that's nicely made? That's really well made. They don't fool around. But there they are at the church room, and the lady on the left has got a sewing machine. Now, the problem with sewing machines is that a sewing machine is a treadle sewing machine because there's no electricity, okay? And each sewing machine will only do one kind of stitch. One sewing machine just sews straight. Then if you want to hem, you got to get another sewing machine because it will make hems. If you want to do zigzags, that's another kind of sewing machine. So you have to do that. But there she is working on her loom. Stitch because they're moving ahead. And there's a guy rethreading her needle. And took it off as soon as I possibly could because it was hot. And there we all got one from them. But they can knock those out pretty good. And Sue, of course, is thrilled that, when you have a program that works, and this is working, and there is, she's holding a poster that says ABCN. You can't see it, but it also says J, ABCNJ, Go Global, because Go Global is the organization of American Baptists of New Jersey that works on mission outreach. And he's telling something. Oh, there, we had to hold it. There's another one holding different kinds of thread so that they have a picture. And you can see the walls are very plain. They're just really basically mud bricks with a mud covering over it. And we have a good time. Somebody probably made a joke. And And there's the head of the denomination who naturally has to make a speech. And there's always prayer. Got to have time for prayer. Thank God for what's happening. There is the women in that particular cooperative in that particular village. A couple of kids looking at these strangers who have come from away. Yeah. And now there's a girl in her pillowcase dress. So somebody from here made that pillowcase dress. So she looks pretty happy in her dress. And there they are wearing sweaters that were made by the cooperative with one of the pastors there in one of the villages. And here are some people looking into the entranceway of the church. They're presenting her with something or other. Pastor is at another Sunday service, ready to preach, and the men sit. These are leaders of the church, and we pray and clap and sing in Kenya Rwanda, in most places they can read their own language, and in many cases people are learning French or English. When you come to make your offering, you come forward and you put it in the basket. You put your fist in the basket and you let go. So if you have something, you let go of something, and if you have nothing, you let go of goodwill. That is collection time, and you can go almost get the feel of the music. I mean, as you watch that lady dancing up front, and it's all to the praise of the Lord, and the singing going on, and the drums. You got to have drums. This one happens to have a good set of drums, and a keyboard, and that guy's got a guitar in the background that's powered by an automobile battery. And there they are in their jackets, and they're dancing away, and the men are dancing, as you can see, and they have their own special dancing styles that they do. And of course, everybody's got to get into it. And we were praying for people who had come forward to receive Christ. And I guess I had just given a sermon or something or other at that podium. And there we are talking about this particular church getting its sign, and exchanging gifts, and that is a picture that was done by the children that they wanted to present to us. I was the recipient of it, and there she is getting her pillowcase dress. We had to figure out which one fit which one, which was tricky. We told them they can trade afterwards, so they get one that fits, and giving the dresses away. And they're very happy. We are in another village, and another church group, and another village they're making a different color sweater, and they're making shawls. See, so they're quite industrious and quite skilled. They picked up the technique pretty easily, very quickly. And I guess they gave the shawl to Sue as a present. This is the main compound. On the left, different offices, and the one in the way back is the church. And there it is, Sarah Community Church. And the quote's from Judges 3:26. That's where the reference is to Sarah. Rwanda is mountainous and hilly. There are large coffee farms, plantations, and banana plantations rice and tea plantations, and roads, if you will, going into another church, and the kids in some of their uniforms, little kids coming along. There's the youth choir. Yeah, have a youth choir. I mean, I think that's pretty cool. And they're very nicely organized. And something's going on there. I don't know what that is. Unfolding something. Oh, there she's got her dress on and her shirt. And there are just people in different churches, and I don't know, chickens running around because people raise chickens, and they can see those little chicks, so there's a future to make some money, sell some eggs and sell some chickens, and not too much traffic going on, but that's our car parked, and then you got to walk up this part to get to the church. And always the children around, always the children. And then after church, you have to go to the pastor's house for dinner, which takes a couple of hours if you're a visitor. And talking about the recipes is another conversation. And some kind of a certificate of something or other. There we are in front of one of the pastor's houses, and you see it's all mud brick, and there's no glass or screens on the windows, and malaria is a big problem. So you get a lot of kids and adults getting malaria. There's an annex building with the wood frame holding up the mud brick, and greetings, and this is a meeting, and we're trying to understand each other. What are the needs? What are the accomplishments? Because it's different in every village. Every village is a different situation. One of the villages is a pygmy village, and they happen to be very, very poor because they don't call them pygmies or twa, which would be the Rwandan word. They are now called nationally disenfranchised citizens, or something like that, because they're always put down. And the government actually took the pygmies out of the jungle and put them in these houses because they were burning down trees, because their traditional way of making money was by making clay bowls and pots. And so they took the wood from the trees and baked the pottery in those ovens. Well, that was against the deforestation laws. And so they took them out of the jungles where they had been for eons, and got problems now with unemployment, drugs, people going to jail, alcohol, serious poverty problems. So they need some help. You can see that she is a little smaller than the rest of the bunch. And she has 3 children. And there we are meeting with folks. Typical door, typical kids. Always watching, going to church, at a meeting. This is actually, the one on the right is a grandmother, the one on the left is a mother. The right, and you notice the grandmother looks like she's nursing the child, but of course she's not nursing the child because she has no milk. But her daughter is in jail because she got involved with drugs. So the kid was just dropped off with the grandmother. And the grandmother doesn't have any food or money or anything like that, so they're living in difficulty. Here we just came in and the door fell off. So Emmanuel is holding the door up. Here we are leaving one of the villages. One of the ways to get around is motorcycle. And saying goodbye. That's the pot that has nothing in it. And that's the inside of the house. With a lot of mud hill inside the house. I don't know what else to say. And no electricity at night, so Sue turned on her iPhone, so there was a little light. And there is the mother and the father, who is he's had some injuries at work, so I think he broke his back, so he can't work much. And she has a couple of kids under that mosquito net. But we're trying to understand the situation and pray for them. And there we are in the pastor's house. And oh, they gave me a shirt. I should have brought that shirt over. Quite jazzy. And they have this particular village has a nursery school. So it's a little more developed village. And, well, let me see what it says there for a second. No. Blessed is the man who finds wisdom, who gains understanding. Proverbs 3:13. Sierra Nursery School. Okay, and here they are, all at a desk. They all get fed twice while they're there. They're learning their alphabet. They're coming out now. They're going to stand and they're going to sing us a song. But notice how they're all in uniform and they're all organized in this preschool. And hand motions, of course, go with the song, right? Just like Vacation Bible School. And that little guy's got the crown that he made in class. And there they are with their crowns and dancing and singing and having a wonderful time. And Emmanuel gets in the act. He starts dancing with them. And the teacher is there dancing with them. And that's the head of the denomination, Aphrodite, and he's talking to the children. He's giving them a kind of a lesson. And Sue is talking with one of the teachers, and teacher is talking to the kids, and Sue is talking to the kids. And there they are getting their meal. It's some kind of sorghum or something or other. I don't know, some kind of high protein. And they make hearts. And happy birthday, Shifura. 23/4/2012. I guess that's when she was born. And this is the rules of the house. This tells you what you can do and what you can't do. And this is this classroom. And that place has also got they do some weaving of straw to make bowls and baskets. And they also do work on their looms and work on their sewing machines. There you go. There's a typical village. There we are leaving the village, and there's typical house, thatched roof, and mud brick walls. And that's a nice house. That's a good house. And this other one's got a wall around its garden. There you go. That's a road. We couldn't get up that road. This is way south. This is a very southern village. They tend to be agricultural in the south more than in the north. There's a women's cooperative meeting. That's pretty typical. We were allowed to visit for a few minutes to say hello, but then we had to scram. And of course, that one gets the banner too, and gets a hello and a greeting. Oh, and there is a piece of pottery that the pygmies make. Okay, if they're still able to figure out a way to make it. And lots of bananas. Gotta have bananas. That's not an unusual pose all around the world. Here's some, I don't know what's in there. I think there's a cow in there. This is Lake Kivu, which separates the Congo from Rwanda. It's a big lake on the western shore. There's a boat. We had fish there to eat, and that was very nice. And that's a fish and banana. And you wash your hands with the water that they pour on your hands, and soup and wood for burning, and there's typical thing. That guy's playing the drum. That's more traditional drum. That's your offering. There you go. There she's putting something in the offering plate. And sing. That is the choir. And there they are showing the gift. Or I'm showing the gift. That you're supposed to show a gift if you give or get a gift. And I think we're almost over. I don't know how many slides are on this. But that's a pastor has a pig and a cow. So he's got a little income from that. There's a typical dinner, beans and bananas and sweet potatoes. And that's a little banner from the Rotary Club that they got. And now we're done. Okay, you made it. You made it all the way through your trip to Rwanda. Are you tired? No. Okay. How about some, I'm going to put this here, okay? And you want to ask a question? Any question? If your church happens to decide to help out with sewing machines, that's very helpful because the dresses are very nice to have and very good, but it's it's an outright gift. Whereas the sewing machine, they make the thing themselves, and those sewing machines are made in Rwanda, so it also helps the economy. Yeah.
The sewing machines look very vintage, but they are made new.
Those are brand new sewing machines.
So
Treadle.
State of the technology. Oh, they're treadle.
They're treadle.
Okay, that's good to know. What I'm not certain of is is this an ongoing attempt to continue to provide sewing?
Yes. Yeah.
And continue
Yes.
to provide cloth?
They buy their own cloth from the profits that they make on selling the blouses and uniforms.
I'm just trying to get the whole process in my mind as to how it progresses. From donations of money.
Donations of money for the sewing machines.
And then
you can do that work. You work that through ABCNJ.
yeah, we've done that before.
And then ABCNJ wires the money to the bank of the denomination.
But now they're going to need fabric, and it's okay to just let them provide that for themselves.
Yes, that because one of the main things we want to do is help people become self-sufficient rather than dependent. So if they can have a business where they're, give a person a hand up rather than a hand out. So if they can have a business where they can buy thread and they can buy wool and they can buy yarn and they can buy cloth, they're doing okay. But they want to expand. And
It seems to me that we need to take one more step after the sewing machines that would be helpful but not enabling.
okay, well, there are lots of other projects. We also have been providing education for leadership, and that's very important. We, as American Baptist Churches of New Jersey, are at present getting the chief executive of the denomination a bachelor's degree, and because we want the leadership to have education, and that also helps them to work better with the government. Okay.
Well, I was instrumental in providing some of the dresses, and I had an idea that maybe I should continue to provide them, but that doesn't seem like the right approach.
It's not a priority. The priority is to help them to become self-sufficient.
Sewing machines are a priority.
Yes, and that's by the decision of all of the women's cooperatives from these 10 villages.
How many million more do you need?
Well, I'd like to have 30, at least. And that would be, these would be machines not up in the village itself, but these would be machines that would be in the marketplace where they have a little shop kind of a thing on the street, it's just a table, whatever. And because there's more trade there, people are passing by and people see the products and will buy the products.
What's the cost of the machine?
Well, it depends on the machine. I think straight stitch is $200. I think if you want to do hems, they cost more. I could get Pastor Eric the whole thing. How much is a loom? How much is this sewing machine? That sewing machine? The other sewing machine? So you might want to buy a sewing machine for a village, so that they can start making some money in the marketplace, so that they can become more independent, so they can buy the soap to wash the dress, etc.
Around for a few extra minutes to answer any questions, specific questions you might have, but let's thank Michael for coming today.
Okay, well, my pleasure. God bless you. God bless you.
Appreciate it, and any of the other questions that you don't get answered, see me or see Michael, and we'll make sure that.
And you wanted to pray, so why don't you close us out with prayer?
Almighty God, we thank you for the way that we can connect with others across your planet to make a difference. Lord, you loved us enough to come to us and to show us the way by your love, and I just ask that we could continue to extend that in practical ways. Thank you for this opportunity to learn today. Help us to always remember in our prayers those that are certainly less fortunate, and I group with those people today, especially those that have been affected by the hurricane.
Yes.
We ask these things in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
All right, thank you, Michael.
Okay, you're welcome. And I would appreciate I got this. I need a scarf, and there's the scarf so I can show the next church, whichever church that will be. Isn't that something? I know I couldn't make it.